Imagine you're standing at the edge of a cliff. Below you, a drop of hundreds of feet. Even one small step feels terrifying. Now imagine someone casually walking across that cliff. Not on a wide path, on a tiny rock ledge, barely big enough for 1 foot. Sounds impossible, right? Well, for mountain goats, it's just another ordinary day. These animals climb near vertical cliffs, leap across narrow gaps, and stand on ledges so small they almost seem invisible. To us, it looks like they're ignoring gravity. But here's the truth. They're not breaking the laws of physics. They're using them better than almost any animal on Earth. So how can goats climb where the world's best rock climbers would struggle? Is it their muscles, their balance, or is it hidden inside one of the most incredible feat ever evolved in nature? Let's find out. Mountain goats don't live on flat grasslands. Their home is one of the harshest environments on Earth. Towering cliffs, jagged rocks, steep slopes, snow, ice, powerful winds. For most animals, this landscape is basically a death sentence. One wrong step, and it's over. But mountain goats have spent millions of years adapting. Every part of their body is built for one purpose, to climb where nothing else can, and that gives them a massive advantage. Wolves, bears, cougars, they can't follow them onto these cliffs, so instead of running, mountain goats just climb up. Those deadly cliffs become their safe zone. But surviving there takes more than courage. It takes incredible engineering, and that engineering starts with their feet. At first glance, a goat's hoof looks simple. Look closer, and you'll find one of nature's best climbing tools. Unlike a horse's hard, solid hoof, a mountain goat's hoof is built from 2 different materials. The outer edge is hard, durable, like the edge of a climbing shoe, gripping tiny cracks in the rock. The center is completely different, soft, rubbery, flexible. When the goat steps down, that soft center compresses, creating way more friction than a rigid hoof ever could. Think dress shoes versus climbing shoes. One slips, the other grips. Mountain goats wear that grip every single day. And that's just the beginning. Each hoof splits into 2 separate toes, so the foot spreads apart on landing, wrapping around uneven rock instead of balancing on one flat surface. Basically 2 tiny hands gripping the mountain. More contact means more grip means more stability, and that stability is what lets them stand where we'd never dare. But even the best shoes in the world wouldn't be enough on their own. Something else is working constantly behind the scenes. The goat's sense of balance. And that's where it gets really wild. Grip alone isn't the full story. If it was, every rough-footed animal could climb cliffs. Clearly, that's not happening. So what's missing? Balance. Ever tried standing on 1 foot? A few seconds in, your body starts making tiny adjustments automatically. Now imagine doing that on a rock barely wider than your shoe. That's a mountain goat's entire life. Their brain is getting constant signals from their eyes, inner ears, muscles, and joints. In a split second, they know if their body is leaning even slightly wrong. Before a slip can even happen, hundreds of tiny muscles fire off corrections, so fast you can't even see it happen. To us, it looks effortless. In reality, it's a non-stop calculation, every second they climb. These goats don't just have strong legs, they have legs built for precision, powerful shoulders, explosive hind legs, enough force to jump gaps that would stop most animals cold. But strength alone isn't enough. Their joints are flexible, and each leg moves independently. Picture a table with 4 legs on uneven rocks. It would wobble like crazy. Now, picture each leg adjusting its own length and angle until it's perfectly stable. That's basically what a mountain goat's body is doing in real time. Each leg adapts to different terrain, even when all 4 hooves are standing on completely different surfaces. That's the confidence you see on those vertical cliffs. Here's where people get it twisted. Videos make it look like goats are defeating gravity. They're not. They're doing the opposite, working with it. Gravity is pulling down constantly, so instead of fighting it, the goat keeps its weight directly above its hooves. The second its center of gravity shifts too far, instant correction. Sometimes it's tiny, a bend of the knee, a shift of the shoulder. Small movements preventing big mistakes. Pro rock climbers use this exact principle. Keep your weight close to the wall, not leaning away. Mountain goats do it naturally, thanks to millions of years of practice. So, do they have a fall? Yes. Skilled? Absolutely. Invincible? No. Young goats are still learning. Loose rocks break. Ice kills grip. Even adults slip in extreme conditions. But compared to almost anything else on Earth, their success rate is insane. Before every single step, a mountain goat tests the surface. If it's unstable, it looks for another spot immediately. no rushing. Every step is deliberate, every movement is calculated. That's why they survive where basically nothing else can. And there's one final piece to this puzzle. Because none of this, the hooves, the balance, exists without millions of years of evolution. Let's talk about how mountain goats became masters of the impossible. These abilities didn't happen overnight. Generation after generation, the goats that climbed better, survived longer, escaped predators, found food, and passed it on. Thousands of generations, tiny improvements stacking up. A little more grip, a little better balance, a little more strength, a little faster reaction. Small changes on their own, but together, one of the greatest climbers in the animal kingdom. Today, mountain goats don't just survive on cliffs, they depend on them. The mountain isn't an obstacle, it's home. Here's a wild fact. Baby goats start climbing almost immediately after birth. At first, they're cautious, slow steps, small jumps. But staying close to mom and practicing every single day, they improve fast. Instinct gives them the tools. Experience teaches them how to use them. When people see a goat standing on a vertical cliff for the first time, the reaction is always the same. That can't be real. But now you know the truth. No magic, no hidden superpower, no laws of physics broken. Just an insane combination. Specialized hooves, powerful muscles, next-level balance, lightning reflexes, flexible joints, and millions of years of evolution. Every step is controlled. Every movement is calculated. Every climb is a masterpiece of natural engineering. What looks impossible to us is just another Tuesday for an animal built perfectly for the toughest place on Earth. Next time you see a mountain goat on some crazy cliff, remember this. It's not defying gravity. It's proving what nature can do when evolution gets millions of years to solve a problem. If you liked this one, subscribe. There's way more wild animal science coming. And here's a question for you. Which animal do you think has the most insane natural ability on Earth? Drop it in the comments. It might be our next video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.